Hello and welcome back to Grade 7 Math. This is our second bonus lesson for our fractions unit, and today we're looking at dividing fractions. In our final fractions lesson, we are going to learn how to divide fractions. Dividing fractions is not much harder than multiplying fractions. There are just two steps we need to follow. Before we learn these two steps, let's first look at an important definition. When talking about fractions, a reciprocal is a fraction turned upside down. Take a look at these examples. So our first example, we have 3/5, but if we flip that fraction, we get 5/3 as our reciprocal. And we can do the same thing with whole numbers. Okay, so if we have the number 4, we can think, well, that's 4/1. And if you flip that upside down, you'll get 1/4. All right, so I'm going to do the first three examples, and then in tomorrow's class, we're going to write the reciprocals of the remaining sample fractions on this slide and the next. So let's look first at 1/2. And I'll just get my pen ready. So if I were to flip 1/2 upside down, I would get, you guessed it, 2/1. Okay, looking at this next one, we've got 2/7. So if I flip that, I'm going to get 7/2. And finally, if we have 25/18, flip it upside down, and you will get 18/25. So if you want, you can pause this video at home and just test yourself with these three examples. We've got 43, 11/33, and 4 5/4. Okay, there are two steps we need to follow when dividing fractions. Step 1, write the reciprocal of the second fraction. So that means leave the first fraction alone, change the second fraction. And then change the division sign to a multiplication sign. Since we changed the division sign to multiplication, we can now multiply the fractions to get our final answer. So just take a look at this example here. We've got 3/5 divided by 2/7. So following the two steps listed above, first we'll keep 3/5 as it is. Going to change 2/7 to 7/2. Then the division becomes multiplication. Like we learned last day, we can just multiply straight across. So 3 times 7 is 21, and 5 times 2 equals 10. Okay, let's practice here. I'm going to go through the first couple here on this video, and then we'll try out the rest in class tomorrow. So we've got 2/5 divided by 7/8. So I'm going to leave the first fraction alone. So it's going to be 2/5. I'm going to change my second fraction. 7 over 8 becomes 8 over 7. And the division becomes multiplication. So that will give me 16 over 35. Okay, looking at the second example, I'll keep the 4 over 9. I'll change that division to multiplication. And I'll flip my second fraction, so 3 over 11 will become 11 over 3, which will give me 44 over 27. So we'll try these bottom two examples in tomorrow's class. And we'll tackle these problems too. But if you want to pause the video for a minute and give these ones a try at home, you certainly can. Okay, that brings us to the end of today's video. So after we do those remaining sample problems on Smartboard, you guys are going to get a worksheet to try out in class, and then we'll take it up together.